Prepare to have your history books rewritten. What if I told you a lot of what you think you know about the past is wrong? These are stories told and retold. The fiction sometimes becomes more famous than the fact. Today, 10 popular history myths, busted. Let's begin. Let's start with one of history's most persistent images. Napoleon the Short, Angry General. We call it the Napoleon Complex. But where did that come from? His height was recorded as 5 feet 2 inches, in French units. The French paus is longer than the British inch. Converted to British units, he was about 5 foot 7, roughly average, even a bit taller than his contemporaries. The caricature stuck, boosted by propaganda and the tall men he stood beside. Picture a Viking. What's on their head? Horns, right? That image was popularized in the 19th century. Opera, comics, and mascots cemented it. Archaeology tells a different story. The German Boo helmet and others were simple, bowl-shaped iron helmets. Functional, no horns. Horns would snag and be a liability in a shield wall. Theatrical flair, not battlefield sense. One of the most repeated facts. The Great Wall is the only man-made thing visible from space. It's not true, not from the moon, and not even reliably from low Earth orbit. The wall is narrow and blends with terrain. Astronauts say it's effectively invisible at distance. Astronauts can see high-contrast features, city lights or the pyramids under ideal lighting, not the wall from far away. In 1492, Columbus discovered America. That's how many of us learned it. But the Americas were already home to millions with complex societies. You can't discover a place already inhabited. Vikings reached Newfoundland around 1000 AD, centuries before Columbus. Columbus's real impact was connecting Old World and New World. Plants, animals, ideas, and devastating disease. Qu'ils mangent de la brioche, let them eat cake. Most attribute it to Marie Antoinette. But Rousseau wrote a similar line in 1767 and attributed it to a great princess. Marie Antoinette was a child then. Anti-monarchist pamphlets pinned the quote to her, a powerful piece of propaganda that confirmed her villainous image. Her letters show altruism. The cake quote is likely myth, used to stoke anger. We picture witches burned at the stake. But that image belongs mostly to Europe, not Salem. In Salem, 1692-1693, English law was followed. Hanging was the prescribed punishment. More than 200 accused. 19 executed by hanging, others died in prison. One unique death. Giles Corey was pressed to death for refusing to plead. Brutal, but not burning. You've probably heard, Einstein failed math as a child. A comforting myth for late bloomers. It's false. Misreading of grading systems and sensational headlines did the damage. By 12 he'd mastered algebra. His report cards showed top marks in science and math. He did fail an entrance exam once. He was younger than peers and failed non-science subjects. He passed the following year. We imagine the Middle Ages as full of flat earthers, ships sailing off the edge. But educated people since ancient Greece knew the earth was spherical. Aristotle, Eratosthenes, and others proved it. Scholars preserved and taught this knowledge through the Middle Ages. It was standard curriculum. The flat earth myth was popularized in the 19th century to make earlier eras look ignorant. The real debate was about the earth's size, not its shape. We all assume chameleons change color to blend in, green on leaves, brown on branches, but camouflage isn't the primary reason. Chromatophores control pigments for communication and thermoregulation, dark to absorb heat, pale to cool down. Color is their language, bright colors for aggression or courting, duller tones for submission or stress. A familiar tale, a thunderstorm turned the battlefield to mud, delaying Napoleon and costing him victory. The rain did delay him. Cavalry and artillery needed firmer ground. But the defeat was complex. Napoleon's health, timing errors, and Ney's ill-timed cavalry charge mattered. Strategic failures, Grouchy's separation, the Prussian arrival, Wellington and Blucher's resilience, the rain was only one thread. 10 stories you thought you knew turned on their heads. History is messy. New evidence and scrutiny make the past more interesting, not less. Which myth surprised you? Let us know below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.